Wagwan people, what you saying? It is I, Diligent Fingers, and welcome back to the dressing gown vlogs. You know what I mean? I hope everyone's doing all right and had, a decent week, a good week, the best week that they could have had, given the circumstances last week. Do you know what I mean? Personally, it ended up being a week where I ended up unofficially taking a week off from things and stuff, given what we talked about in the last video and what had been happening last week in terms of like losing people close to me, it was kind of hard to sort of pick up the motivation from that. I was able to still get some stuff done, get some projects out of the way, but not really enough in terms of, the plans that I officially had. Do you know what I mean? Plus I had some bad news in regards to some like upcoming videos that were going to be happening, but they're not happening anymore, and stuff like that. And I don't know, it kind of led me to start really thinking about things in terms of, just how things are being a musician or being in any kind of, sort of trade or hobby, do you know what I mean, where you kind of have to be your own boss. Do you know what I mean? You kind of have to motivate yourself daily. Do you know what I'm saying? And again, given the current circumstances, being under COVID, being under lockdown and things like that, everybody's kind of at that same point when they kind of have to be their own boss, be their own sort of motivation and stuff. I kind of say it in these ways because, I don't have a partner, I'm not with anybody, so I've not got anybody to bounce off or, and in some cases, from how some people have been talking, I've not really got anybody to get pissed off with during this lockdown and stuff like that. But this whole situation has ended up sort of forcing us to approach situations differently, look at situations differently. Do you know what I mean? Like, I ended up sort of getting to a point of kicking myself, do you know what I mean, back towards the end of this week, because I didn't feel like I'd got enough done. Do you know what I mean? All the projects that I had planned to get out of the way, all the things that I wanted to sort of jump on, and do you know what I mean? Everything. Do you know what I mean? Anything that you sort of had planned and stuff like that, like it kind of went by the wayside. And sometimes it could be for the littlest things, sometimes it can be for big things. And I suppose the point that I'm getting at is, there's no need for you to beat yourself up if things don't always go according to plan. Or if you get to the point, especially in these trying times, if you get to the point where you feel like you just don't want to do anything, you feel like you just want to just relax, take a week off, take a break. Do you know what I mean? Especially being a musician or an artist of some sort or a hobbyist of some sort, where you want to try and potentially make it into something bigger than what it is now. Do you know what I mean? There are times where if you get to those points, you can end up like kicking yourself and feeling like you failed in some way, or you've let yourself down in some way. But life is just life. Do you know what I mean? Things like this are going to happen. Do you know what I mean? Maybe it's speaking from my age, do you know what I mean? Like being 39 years old and going through a lot of experiences. Maybe it is just taking things into account, current situations into account, but things don't always go to plan, and you have to adapt. And if you can't adapt, or you don't want to adapt, if you want to take a break, then you shouldn't beat yourself up about it. Do you know what I mean? Everybody has their limit. Everybody has their threshold of what they can deal with, what they can put out, and what they can take in. And everyone's threshold is different. Everyone's limit is different. And, you shouldn't be made to feel wrong for that. You shouldn't be made to feel as if you failed for that, whether it's other people that's making you feel like that, or whether you're making yourself feel like that, which was the case for myself. I love music. I love the process of creating. I love when when people respond to the music that I make. I love it. I love it. I'm not in it to, you know, be the next Kanye West or Drake or anything like that. Do not get me wrong. You know, if the sun should shine on a dog's ass and I get lucky and, you know, it leads me to a point where things are comfortable, you know, things are less stressful financially, yeah, I would love that. Of course, anybody would. Do you know what I mean? But I think that what's carried me through, you know, the last 15 to 18, I need to stop saying 15 years, but it's easier to say 15 years plus. But I think what's carried me through the last sort of 18 years of being involved in music is still being able to treat it as a hobby, still being able to treat it as, you know, just what it is, just making music, rather than having the attachments of wanting to elevate and, you know, things like that, you know, come with it. I suppose it's the realization of, you know, being in a position where I have the time and I have the space to be able to focus solely on music, and that's a bit of a mad transition to make. Do you know what I mean? I suppose it's coming to the realization of, you know, even though for the last 2 years I've been saying that's the direction that I want to take it to, you know, like, because I don't want to be I don't want to be where I am, you know, for the rest of my life. No one wants to be stuck in the same place for the rest of their lives. Do you know what I mean? Everybody wants to elevate in some way, shape or form. Everybody wants to progress in some way, shape or form. But when it came to music, because it was such an escape, because it was such a, you know, such a place of refuge for me, it was always kind of hard to attach, do you know what I mean, what you would say is sort of the business industry side of things to it. Yeah, I mean, but maybe it's me coming to the realization of, you know, that's the stage that I'm at, or at least that's the position that I'm at, where, you know, if I really put my mind to it, I can take things to the next level, or maybe I can. I think that's the other side of it as well. You never really know. I think that may be the conflict of it as well. Like, as much as I may want to believe that, do you know what I mean, this, that, and the other, you know, I have still been involved in making music and been part of the scene for like 18 years. Do you know what I mean? And it is only like, say, the last 4 years where things have taken a step up. Do you know what I mean? It's weird to say like where things are starting to go really well for me, because I never really felt as if, you know, things weren't going well or things were dropping off or going down. There's never been a point where I've stopped creating. Do you know what I mean? Like, truly stopped creating. There's points where I've taken breaks from, you know, being in the scene and stuff like that. But even then, you know, I'm still writing. I'm still, do you know what I mean, writing verses, writing bars, writing lyrics. Do you know what I mean? And maybe I'm just not happy with, you know, what I'm writing at the time. But the need to create, the need to be a part of the process of creating music has never stopped. It's never left me. And that, so, you know, ultimately, because I think I went on a bit of a tangent there, ultimately, whatever it is that you do, wherever it is that you're trying to take yourself, whatever direction you're trying to take yourself in, don't beat yourself up if you feel like you need to take a break. Don't beat yourself up if something comes along in life and sort of derails you a little bit, you know. And that was the realization I had to come to, and that I've been through these situations and these periods many times before, and I've still come out on the other side. And that leads me to point 2. You will always come out of it on the other side. whatever derailment, whatever bump in the road, whatever hurdle, you know, or obstacle you come across, they are just that. They're just hurdles, they're just obstacles, they're just bumps in the road. The road's still there. The road's still there. You know, you can still carry on. You just miss sometimes. Maybe you just need to take some time out. Maybe you need to have a quick nap on the side of the road because you've been rolling for non-stop for ages. Do you know what I mean? Maybe there is an obstacle that you need to figure out. Do you know what I mean? There's a gap in the road that you need to figure out how to get over. You know, these analogies and like and shit are really basic and stuff like that. But I'm trying to like be as universal as I possibly can, because there's many different versions, there's many different reasons as to why you may get yourself to the point where, you know, you're burnt out, or the inspiration isn't there, or the motivation isn't there, or, you know, anything like that. It's just for a brief period. Especially for people that are just coming into making music, just coming into the scene, and you know, you get yourself to a point where you feel like there's a bit of momentum, you feel like there's a bit of a spark, but nothing is coming to you or anything like that. You know, especially for the people that are just starting, don't beat yourself up about it. Don't do it. There's no point. It's just wasting time. If you need to take that break, take that break. If you need to go for that walk, go for that walk. If you need to, do you know what I mean? Whatever it is you need to do outside of your work or your passion, allow yourself to take the time to do it. When you look out, it's easy to look at everybody else and watch these motivational videos, and do you know what I mean? Look up to these inspirational people and these idols, and you know, hear these common threads of non-stop. You have to keep working. You cannot stop. Do you know what I mean? I remember at the start of lockdown, and I think I've said this before, but I remember at the start of lockdown when, you know, the realization came that, okay, nobody's working, everybody's in the same place, everybody's at home, we can get so much done. But it didn't end up turning out that way. Do you know what I mean? You know, I feel like I've gone back to that point where, you know, I'm sort of blaming myself, do you know what I mean, for it. But I got through that back then. I can get through it right now. And that's the point. You know, ultimately, just don't give up. If there's an obstacle in the road, figure out what you need to do to get around it. If you're feeling burnt out, unmotivated, you know, uninspired, take that time until that inspiration hits you again. Do you know what I mean? But more importantly, take the time out to actually look after you. You know, don't let these things stress you out. Don't let these things be a thing that end up dwelling on you and weighing you down. Do you know what I mean? Listen to what your body is saying to you. Listen to what your mental is saying to you. Do you know what I mean? If you need to take a break, take a break. Do you know what I'm saying? If you need a bit of respite, take that respite. But just make sure you're taking the time to look after yourself, truly look after yourself, you know. But yeah, besides that, apologies for, you know, the no-show of Forward Motion last Wednesday. Like I said, I was feeling very unmotivated. Also, last week was mad cold in the UK. Mad cold, like licking like -1, -2, -3 kind of temperatures, do you know what I mean, and stuff, you know. And you know, again, if you don't know, or if you followed me for a while, you know I suffer from back problems as well. I've got 2 prolapse discs, so I suffer a lot with sciatica and, you know, things like that. Do you know what I mean? And when it comes to the cold weather, it really starts to twinge on those kind of like ailments there and that. So apologies, but do you know what I mean? But Forward Motion will be back, you know what I mean, this Wednesday. As a result, I've got a lot of tunes, a lot of music to actually get through, a lot of good music to actually get through. So I might make this an extended show, for like, I might put an extra hour on the show, just to be able to show you all the, you know, the fresh music that, you know, that's coming out and stuff like that. But again, we will be back this Wednesday, 10 p.m. till 12 a.m. GMT. Bloc2Bloc Entertainment Radio, Bloc2Bloc Radio on Facebook, and that. You know, also I have been thinking about, I've still been thinking about this giveaway that I want to do for my fans, for my supporters. I'm probably going to get into it next month, just to give myself a bit more time to be able to collect some more prizes together and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? But again, if there's anything you feel like would be a good prize or anything like that, feel free to make your suggestions. Do you know what I mean? In the comments below, in the comment section below, feel free to make your suggestions in regards to, you know, what you want to see on the show, what you want to see on, you know, any of the social media channels. Do you know what I mean? And that, like YouTube, like in specific content just for Instagram, do you know what I mean, and things like that. You know, I really do want to get you guys, my supporters, the people that have been helping me through, I really want to get you guys more involved in the process of, you know, what I'm doing musically, do you know what I mean, and how I'm moving forward with, you know, my career. Because at the end of the day, if it wasn't for you guys, do you know what I mean, I wouldn't be in a lot of the positions that I'm in at the moment, do you know what I mean, or have been, do you know what I mean, through the last 18 years. So, you know, giveaway as a thank you, do you know what I mean, to either one lucky person or a couple of lucky people, depending on how I set up the competition. But also, you know, giving you guys a way to be a lot more involved, do you know what I mean, in, you know, the process of the music, the show and everything like that. Again, things like Patreon and things like that, where it's more exclusive, you know, content for you guys, but behind a paywall, or I don't know, because I'm still new to all of this business industry side of things. Do you know what I mean? And that, but, you know, yeah, man, like I'm just thankful, do you know what I mean, to have the supporters that I have, to have the people, you know, that are backing me, that are in my corner, do you know what I mean? And, you know, I want to try and find some way of showing appreciation for that. But yeah, again, long video went on a bit longer than I wanted it to. But again, thank you very much for listening to me, for watching, for listening, for hearing me out. And I hope you have an amazing day, an amazing week. Take it easy. And blessings to you all.